Hey everybody, Mike here. So CTR was nice enough to send out this tire repair kit to me so that I could try it out, test it, see what I thought. And to kind of show you guys how this thing will work and what I think of it. So I want to say thanks to CTR for sending this out, and let's go take a look at this thing together real quick. So right out of the box, this is what you get right here. First thing you'll see in here is a little manual. It just kind of runs you through a few things that you would know and consider if you've never actually repaired a tire before. Now if you've never actually put a tire plug in before, rest assured, this is a pretty easy process. Just takes a little bit of muscle to get this done. Now, honestly, this is probably the most comprehensive kit that I've seen on the market in terms of what's available. For the longest time, what's still in my toolbox today is basically just a lesser quality version of this tire plug tool here and your reamer, which is what I call this anyways. That's the only two tools I ever had. So having this set up here is going to be kind of nice. Not only do I have the tire plugs, the reamer, and the tool to put them in with, it comes with extra valve caps covers. It's got extra Schrader valves in the kit. You got the adapter pieces for like a bicycle. You do have an extra needle if you were to break the one. You got a ton of the actual plugs themselves, needle nose pliers, a utility knife, which I'll show you what that's for here in just a second. You got the old school tire pressure gauge, which still work great to this day. You don't need anything fancy. And then last but not least, you've got the tool to remove a valve core if you ever needed to do so. This would be a great kit just to keep underneath the seat of your truck, or maybe your toolbox in the bed, or under the seat in your SUV, just somewhere where you can have this thing readily available to you. Not all of us have AAA or some version of that could come and save you. What's nice about this is if you're out and about, you catch a flat, and you didn't want to have to put the spare on if it's just an easy nail that you can get out right there on the side of the road, and you had access to some kind of air compressor at the same time, because you need to have both of those in conjunction for this to be able to work the way it's intended. But you can keep this in the car. You can pull your nail or screw out of your tire, put a plug in it, air your tire back up, and you're back on the road, and you don't have to worry about taking the tire off, putting a spare on, and then trying to get down the road and find somebody to repair your tire. Now, full disclosure, this isn't my favorite way of repairing a tire. I've done a ton of these over the years, especially when I used to work at a dealership back in the day, and they work just fine. I still prefer to have a patch plug. So in my eyes, this is a great temporary solution until I can get this thing to a tire shop that can take the tire off the wheel and actually put a patch plug in from the inside of the tire. To each their own though. A lot of people will see this as a superior way, and this will last with the life of the tire until you're ready to replace it with your next set. Now with that being said, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on the kit. I have actually got a spare tire laying around on the farm that I brought in. I wanted to actually put a tire plug in for you in case you've never seen how that works, just to show you how easy this is and to prove to you that anybody can do this. Here's a simulated tire we're going to use just to show you how this plug works. First thing I'm going to do is going to take these gloves that they included with the kit. I'm going to throw these on. Typically I wear a glove for a size large or extra large. These gloves here, while they appear to be more of a medium size, so if you've got a medium sized hand, they do have quite a bit of stretch to them. So it's better than nothing. At least I got a layer of something on my hands. I'll go ahead and grab my set of needle nose pliers, and I'll see if I can get this thing out of here with just that alone. And sometimes you got to work these out, but typically once you get a good hold on it and you break the threads loose, that dude will work right out of there. Just about got her. The screws are going to be the hardest one. Nails usually pop right out, but because your screws are threaded, it would actually be better if you had a screwdriver with you. But let's just say you didn't. Finally, you get that screw out like so. Now we're spewing air. Let's go ahead and grab our reamer. Get that dude back in the hole real quick. Try not to lose any more than we have to. So now you got your reamer in there. It's kind of plug in the hole. Now, the best thing to do here is kind of just give this thing a twist. You're basically just kind of widen the hole out. You're clearing the way for the plug to go in. So I kind of run that thing back and forth like this in all directions. I'll leave that in there for just a minute. Go ahead and grab myself a tire plug. So we'll get this tool queued up. Now the nice thing about this reamer that my other reamers don't have is it's got this little plate here on the shaft. What's going to be nice about that, I'll show you here in just a minute actually. Let me go ahead and get this threaded in here real quick because that takes a little concentration. It's basically just like threading a needle, but with a sticky piece of tar instead. So usually I'll try to get that dude started like this. And once I can kind of get that kind of halfway through the hole, you can take your needle nose pliers and yank it the rest of the way through. And this is probably the next hardest part of the process. Usually I have a harder time getting the screw out of the tire than I do this.